All right, so I'm back in a hotel room again because we drove down here. We're in Cordial, Georgia. I say we because it's me, my buddy Eric Olson, right over here, who's about to be super famous on the Jayzilla podcast. I don't know if I can say that this early, but we're gonna.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We're dropping some secrets here, but we're down here in Cordial, Georgia. We're gonna go to Watermelon Speedway. Yes, it's just as redneck as it sounds, but there's a 2-day drift weekend down here. Eric posted up, hey, anybody want to hang out, help load stuff up, and hang out at the drift event? And I was like, yeah, and I kind of want to get behind the wheel of your car. And he didn't say no, so here I am. I loaded up all my camera gear. If you've watched some of my other vlogs, I've talked about a lot of the stuff I bring with me and how I set it up and everything like that. So hopefully we'll get some interesting footage. Not promising I'll post everything, but I'll post some of it. But this is the first kind of event I've been to for a while where, like, I'm not working the event. I don't have those responsibilities. And I'm not even responsible of being, like, a driver the entire time. So I should actually be able to operate, at the first level as a film crew and second level as a driver. So I should actually get content. I should actually post content from this, especially being 2 days, because overnight, like, I should be doing something for this, right? So it'll be a lot of fun. I've been I consider myself drift curious. I've been like around drift stuff for a really long time, really interested in it, never had the right car for it. I even did the iTrack Drift Clinic, which was a really good program. I felt like I learned a lot with car control, and I really picked up more driving aggression than I've ever had before. Like, I would say track days are very much about finesse. You go do autocross and it's much more extreme, but the speeds are very low. And then in that drift school, I found higher speeds, more aggression. I mean, it's a very extreme side of driving. So I think it's very interesting to take that into consideration, into the whole world of like how you drive. And I think there's a real value in finding a car's limit and going far beyond it and seeing how to control it there. I think it'll make you much less timid going from your 8/10, 9/10, 10/10 when you just go straight to 12/10 and you learn how to like survive. So that's kind of a big part of what I'm looking for out of the drift side of things. And I think it's a little bit of my naivete. Like, I think I might be good at this, so I really want to like jump in and try. I know I try to get sideways as often as I can, and whenever I don't get black flagged for it, I have a lot of fun. And I still do when I get black flagged. So, but this is the proper environment to get sideways and hold a car in a slide, but at speed, because assuming it's dry this weekend, which it should be, this is not skid pad work either. This is actually linking a course together, and that's what we're here for. So we've got the right car. We're going to be in this 350Z that I'm sure will be the bulk of what I talk about in tomorrow's vlog. We'll be in this 350Z that has what's the situation with the diff?
Welded diff, vented hood, short shifter exhaust, oil cooler. That's about it.
But
it's basically stuff.
Yeah, and these
welded diff.
And these 350Zs are really like out of the box, excellent drift cars, right?
They are, yeah. The 240 was the original awesome drift car, and that came with a pretty mediocre motor, just over 100 wheel horsepower. But the Zs have 300 crank or high 200 wheel horsepower, a lot more power from the factory, and still has a nice long wheelbase, a good weight distribution, and it's really easy to drift.
Yeah, and I think the only reason they weren't as popular as like the 240s is because they were just more expensive.
Yeah, they were newer.
Yeah.
And more expensive. The 240s were a little older and cheaper, and now the 240s are getting expensive because they're hard to find, and the Zs are getting cheaper because they're everywhere and getting older and higher mileage. And in my case, some people are wrecking them, so they're real cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got some cosmetic issues, but we're out here to go create more cosmetic issues, or at least when you're tandeming, that's likely to happen. So it's a perfect car for it. You don't have to pay a ton of money to make that happen. So
body damage is sometimes a badge of honor for drifters. They talk about banging doors, and that's a good thing.
And honestly, this is really interesting. I think that the kind of driving you do with drifting is something that most DE goers would be interested in, but it's things like the expectation of car-to-car contact that I think keep people away. I think there's a time and a place for it. I mean, same thing with not even demolition derby, but just like a lot of circle track and stuff like that. I think there's a lot more contact, and you bring a different car there. But I think the type of driving is still really appealing. So I talked before about car control clinics, and I think there's a real nice blend there. So I definitely consider what we're doing here some research for me to see like how's this event run and what are some qualities that I could take away that maybe somebody with a really nice car that they couldn't see dinging up, like what kind of stuff like this could they do and still enjoy it. And so I think there's something there. I think it might have to be a different event that allows for it, but I think the technique and the way the events run could be very similar. So I'm going to try to pick up some stuff here.
Certainly, yeah. There's something to be said about having an environment where you can safely go over the limit and practice recovering from it, figuring out how you will react in that situation. Some people panic, some people don't. Learning, getting experience, and more comfortable going over that limit and being able to collect yourself when things go wrong on a DE, or, if you want to go out and bang doors at a drift event, you can do that too.
Yeah, exactly. And all these things, whether it's time on the track, karting, drifting, car control clinics, all of these things translate to being a better driver on the road. When that terrible situation happens, you're a little more prepared and certainly more calm, which helps out in a big way.
Certainly.
So, cool. All right, tomorrow there's going to be tons of drift content, which will be really exciting and drive my ratings, right? Because everybody likes seeing drifting stuff. So, thanks, Eric. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.